welcome to the OTB Open presented by MVP Disc Sports. This is round 1 of 3. This is the 6th stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It's nice and sunny. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're 2 of many hot geese out there.
There's so many of them, and there's so many cuter ones. And honk.
Yeah, and honk. And honk. Yeah, beautiful conditions out there. A little bit shorter course than last year, but very similar layout. Should be fun to watch. It's a par 67 this year, 9,113 feet. This is our 3rd year here.
Hole 7 was shortened to 285 feet. We now have to attack the hole by throwing over the water. There's a few other changes as well from last year. This course, though, plays very fun for the FPO. Hole 5 being the easiest, hole 18 being the most difficult, and hole 16 being the score separator, thanks to UDISC.
And these foxes.
And these foxes. For all the stats today, we saw the foxes out there with their notepads.
Paige Pierce, last year's winner, 74% Circle 1X putting, really good at that bounce back 27%, and hitting some Circle 2s as well.
Scoggins, her 2023, she's 4th in the tour ranking. She's always up at the top. 3rd place in Circle 1X putting, no surprise, and 6th place in scrambling.
Let's go, Oh, what have we have here? A hot goose turned pro in 2014. Her best finish was Las Vegas Challenge of this year. Her best finish of this year, 14th, and Circle 1X putting 69%. Great number.
Holla. Ella Hansen, 5th in the tour ranking, a much more impressive stat than when she turned pro. A birdie percentage, 3rd place, 33% of the holes on tour in 2023. She has birdied. Unbelievable.
Hole 1 is 348 feet. No out of bounds to speak of. We have a short left pin, kind of a low ceiling. Most women gonna hang it out to the right and let it hyzer in. They took last year's hole 1, which was a par 5, and split it into 2 different holes.
The trouble you're worried about here are those tree branches. Because of the elevated tee surface, you can definitely throw into those and drop down just outside of Circle 2. Paige playing super far out wide and going past the basket.
Yep, just crushing her Big Z. Big Z crush. Nailed it. I'm going to be ripping on destroyers all day.
Almost no wind to speak of. It was a really nice day for disc golf.
Owen putting a good move on this one, looking for the skip. Getting just inside the circle.
Throwing 3rd from Pensacola, Florida, Madison Walker.
Honk.
My name is Madison Walker. I'm from Pensacola, Florida. I've been playing sports my whole life, but I just started playing disc golf probably not till I was 19. I learned in college from my ultimate frisbee team. I was waiting tables. I was planning on getting a master's. I got a bachelor's in marine biology, and I was planning on getting a master's in genetics or something like that in the science field. But it was right when the economy kind of bit the dust, so I decided to take some time off, wait until I could get funding for my master's, and wait tables. I started playing disc golf for fun with my family just on holidays. We met some people at the course. They invited us to like a little club. I started playing tournaments on the weekends, made more money playing disc golf than I did waiting tables, and next thing you know, I went to Worlds at my friend Michelle, and I didn't know anything about professional disc golf. I just knew that I liked throwing things. I was excited, and I've always wanted to go to Oregon. I mean, it's like an outdoor person's paradise. I didn't know what to expect, and then I got there and my mind was absolutely blown. I like touring a lot because I've always kind of felt the urge to not be stationary. I notice a lot and I love a lot. There's so many options. There's so many things that I could like to do. There's so much that I want to do. When you are able to jump in your car and get paid, even if it's just a little bit, like for a long time it was just a little bit, to get in your car and just drive and do what you love along the way, paddle, hike, fish, birdwatch, mushroom hunt, rock hound, you name it. Like, at all these stops are all different, but it's really nice to like see all of that. But the thing is that can be a little bit daunting because there is so much, and disc golf, as the years have gone by, as these 9 years have gone by, it's become more of a time suck than it ever was. And that's probably the biggest change over the last 9 or 10 years that I've experienced and that I've struggled with, is trying to figure out how to be happy and live the life that I want to live while also being a good competitor and being a hard worker. The Pro Tour has chosen to make the women's side of the sport grow, And as a result, we see also sponsors valuing women more than ever. So, I mean, that is what, you know, me and people of the past, Des, Elaine, Val, you know, all the people that we've seen in the past working towards this, it's finally coming to fruition and it's awesome. I mean, it's the most exciting thing ever and I'm so happy to have been a part of the growth. And like, I hope I can like kind of own a piece of helping it get there. I think to a new woman coming into the sport, I would say that now is the best time, better time than ever. So that's one thing to be confident in, is like you are entering into the sport at the absolute best time that we've had in history to enter into the sport.
Epic. Initiate slow clap.
Can we do a chant too, please?
I'm always down for a chant.
And at least I follow it up with a good shot.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, Madison here, I think, was thinking, you know, hole one, it's right there. There's a lot of big shots out there. Just got to get this one close and make a sick putt. That's probably what she was thinking.
No pressure.
Yeah. If you haven't watched the Jomez mic'd up practice round, me and Madison play with Ella Hansen. We had a ton of fun and probably shot more Nerf darts than good shots, but it was a blast. Here's a good shot from Ella with her swirly S-line Cloudbreaker. Ooh, first shot, first follow flight, not bad.
I mean, hole one straight into the bullseye. Come on, Ella. We got to play that practice round with her, like Erika said, and she definitely showed us the way very often. She did really well here last year as well, so excited to watch her again on this lead card. We have 2 filmed rounds from Ella this week. Nice.
Yeah, Ella tied for 4th last year.
Paige with a circle 2 putt. Not converting. Everyone else in circle 1.
Mad, knowing she needs to make this, converts. Great start.
Has played as the 2nd easiest hole of the day.
Lone with her own solid birdie to start. Owen got it. She tied for 7th last year. And Madison didn't play this event last year.
Yeah, that's when COVID got me. I was sidelines in the Redwoods in Santa Cruz, California. Not a bad place to get stuck. But sadly had to miss my sponsoring event at the OTB Open presented by MVP. Excited to be here this year.
What a move. Paige, the only one unable to get the first birdie.
Natalie Ryan at the top of the leaderboard, 4 down. Emily Beach just behind her, 3 down. And we move on to our first par 4 of many today. 573 feet with out of bounds all the way down the left-hand side, just outside of that tree line. The right side has no out of bounds, but it's artificial with the very, very thick rough. You do not want to go in there. Throw something far and straight, and then your second shot has to kind of get lucky, maybe find a gap. A lot of low-hanging branches and trees guarding this green. It can make it really hard to get all the way to circle 1. This is a tough par 4. I don't know if we'll see a whole lot of birdies, but it's out there.
There'll be some. It was definitely an easier birdie as a par 5 than it is this year as a par 4, but gettable. I think the really interesting thing about Swenson is even though it's a golf course, there's a lot of low ceiling shots that you have to shape. Really good use of terrain out here.
You can go right side of that main tree, or you can take the turnover route like you see me doing here. Both of them work. You just want to try to get as much distance as possible because the closer you are to the green, the easier it is to pick a gap.
I like this line. It just feels a little safer. Though there are trees over there.
Yep, Ella hit that tree so hard that it almost kicked all the way out of bounds,
yeah,
but it checked up.
OB line is definitely tighter than it was last year.
Paige
and by
going,
definitely, I mean probably. Go ahead.
Paige going super wide. Hyzer going around everything, but pushing that tree line to the right side.
She'll have a chance to attack. Power sidearm is a great play here. It's really hard to get a backhand there. where those limbs are is probably, what, like 75 feet still
Yep.
to the pin, and it's really easy to clip them.
Yep, Ella trickling into circle 2, doesn't quite get the angle she wants on that. Super nose up, but it's fine right there. She'll be able to pitch up very easy, maybe even have a long look at birdie.
Own with the big flex.
So good, but unfortunately hits the wall.
More like a curtain. Is there a word for those little baby curtains on the tops of windows? You know what I mean? Like there has to be a name for. Leave the name for whatever those baby curtains are in the comments.
It's like a dust ruffle for windows.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, Paige throws a shot and gets to circle 2.
Mm-hmm. Trying to go up that middle route. Early release. Hyzering towards out of bounds. Huge flare skip. Checks up inches away.
Madison breathes a sigh of relief. She knows she got away with one there. I was going to pretend like I was there with you all day. Inside your head.
She knows me well enough that she can do that. Don't. Ella just a little short on her birdie bid. But everyone is about the same distance away, even though we all just kind of went in a line in order. We were all right around the same distance in circle 2. They had a little bit more of an open look over there. Never mind. I did not realize Owens was this blocked.
Do you have the stat on how many people landed in circle 1 on this hole?
Yes, 13% of the field. That's only 6 competitors out of 47.
I should have guessed. I figured it was pretty low.
But over double that landed in circle 2. 35% of the field.
Mad. Not messing around, just laying up.
Mm-hmm. There was nothing there.
Solid par putt from Ella. Everyone just going to be cleaning up here. Not quite tap-ins, but short putts.
Nice shady green on this pretty wide open golf course. We have a few nice shady greens, but a lot of wide open, no shade fairways.
Yeah. Yeah, the sun was pretty brutal.
It's really nice that we get to play in the morning here.
Yeah.
Because it gets hot quick.
Because they split up hole 1, they got rid of hole 16 later. This is very on brand for Madison. Just chowing down.
Hole 2 already snacking. It's hard work out there, folks.
Yeah.
Getting one birdie.
You're exhausted. Hole 3 is a new pin position this year. You can take this little gap that the drone flew through and throw a mid-range or maybe a fairway driver on the right side, 277 feet. Or if you have the distance sidearm, you can kind of take the trees out of play like we're going to see Own do and go out left and skip to the right. The tree over the pin has limbs that hang down, kind of on the left and back side, so it's better to land right. Own has the thing surrounded. That's good.
I think having that sidearm is a huge advantage here.
Mm-hmm.
The right side gap is there. It's just kind of a funky angle. If you turn it over too much, there's some stuff over there you don't want to mess with. Early release, I think, is the most common error. Still snacking.
I think the reason it's weird is because the tee pad is not facing towards the gap.
Yep.
So then you have to kind of cut off part of the tee
I
pad.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
You are kind of running sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Ella got iced because a fox ran across the green right before she was trying to throw, so she tried to wait it out, and in the meantime, just effectively razzed her. A+ work, Fox, for the rest of the field.
Own the only one putting. Everyone else gonna have to throw some approaches. Mad, thinking I should pad my circle 1X stats. Just leave it just outside the bullseye.
Exactly. Ella trying to jump putt here. Early releases, and she lands on the edge of circle 1. She wasn't happy with it. She'll have a little bit of work left to do for her par.
Oh, Paige going with a touchy little sidearm play. Well done. That was really good control.
This played as the 3rd easiest hole of the day with 35% of the field birdieing, so this is a must-get.
Ella splashes out her circle 2.
75% of the field to circle 2, almost 50 to circle 1. Own one of those, but unable to convert.
Yeah, it looked like that branch was just a bit in her way or in her head.
I had a branch right in my face. I couldn't see the basket.
But you believed, so that's what matters.
I visualized. Paige also tapping in for par.
Ella with a bogey. That one hurts on this one, but she can get plenty more birdies out here. Last year, 11 down across 3 rounds won the tournament, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone hit double digits in a tournament round. Like, it's possible.
It's out there.
We'll see.
Disc golf keeps growing. At the Power Disc Golf Academy, we believe in adding power to the player to level up their game. That's why Paul Ulibarri, a top 50 ranked player, is taking the past 18 years of teaching disc golf and boiling it down into lessons across every subject. From driving, to putting, to drills, to practice, to mental game, and much more, all to give you the power to grow as a player. Grow your game with the Power Disc Golf Academy.
Hole 4, the second most difficult hole of the day. It is our first par 5, and it's one that you're happy walking away with a par. Birdie is in play though. If you get big distance off the tee, you have to cut through that line of trees. Your second shot, you want to get over that out of bounds green and into this flat area. Ideally, the further you can get, the better, because there are a ton of trees and not necessarily one good gap. The low ceiling makes everything really tough to cover ground. So you don't want to leave yourself a ton of distance. I like a big sidearm ideally on the last shot. I think it's the most open over there, but it does make the hole longer to play.
This is my preferred gap here in the center. I think if you don't have a huge arm, it's the best way to bite off distance and land in a good spot. If you have a lot more distance, you see some hyzers to the right. Madison's grabbing her fission trace. She's thinking it's okay to walk off with a par on this one.
And then she's pleasantly surprised when she goes to Crushtown off the tee.
Yeah, that was solid. It feels so good hitting that gap. It's just far away enough where it's a little bit intimidating.
And it's a funny angle.
Yeah,
Paige opts
here's the
for,
power gap.
Yeah, she opts for this power hyzer gap, and she goes so far.
Huge. That's her ESP Zeus crunched.
So from the tee, that looks like it's pinched a little bit, but when you get down here, it's actually great because she's so far down that the second gap is really a very easy gap to hit because it's pretty big. Ella, roller.
Tight.
Yes.
She's rolling an Active Premium Genius, which is a very fun disc name combination.
Love the name. Love the shot, but one tree gets in the way. She'll be off to the left side with a lot of room to work with here. Looks like, is she doing, she's
Looks
doing
like
the same
another
thing.
roller.
I was there. I can't remember.
Maria Olive and I were wondering if we could see an eagle on this one, and I think it would take at least one huge roller or possibly 2 rollers in a row to get a look. That's a great angle.
The hill kind of turns it fast.
Dang, I liked it.
Yeah, it cuts into that corner bushy tree. It is absolutely brutal in there.
Madison's thinking, I can take this tight gap and get a sweet birdie look. Great shot.
The tree gods let me through this time.
I kind of like that play. I mean, it's a little bit risky, but you definitely cut off some distance versus this gap that Owen is going to go through, which you see a lot of women try to force a backhand and hyzer through there, and it's just hard to make much progress to the right.
And if you're short at all, too, it's a hill that you land on. It makes any third shot really hard for the run up.
All right, if we're going to see an air shot eagle, this is about the best chance I feel like anyone's going to get.
Yeah, instead of turning something over through there, she kind of hyzers something out, the low ceiling, trying to push something through. She'll have a really long putt.
Yeah, it looks like an easy birdie anyway.
Oh, and unfortunately, a little bit too nose down, doesn't cover much ground on her third shot.
This is probably 350 or so.
Maybe a little less.
Okay.
I think it was like 310.
Really? Wow, you kind of crushed that second shot then.
Yeah, I was far. And then I just threw my third shot right into a tree.
Probably thinking about, you know, mushrooms or wildflowers. Or...
all the things I could be doing. Ella forced to patent pending, just pitch out to the middle, left with still a very difficult shot. It's so low ceiling. It is so hard to cover ground. She's pulling out a slower speed disc, really pushing that low ceiling, getting a little bit of ground play, finding herself into the edge of circle one or just outside.
It's honestly hard to do much better than she just did, taking that backhand line.
Awkward stance. I tried the sidearm, pushed a little bit too straight. I caught the one guardian tree on the left side.
Oh, now going backhand where you would assume forehand.
Seriously. I was so surprised to see her pull that out.
I mean, it's not a bad play. It's just way more open on the left. Paige throwing a fierce on her third. Pretty.
There were only 4 birdies on the day. This was for my par.
Good bid.
Yep, I kind of let the wind carry it. Caught some chains, but it didn't grab.
Own for par. About 36 feet or so. Own's putter not quite as hot as normal.
Yeah, she goes pretty far past, almost to circle's edge deep. Ella with the par save after a pitch out halfway through this brutal par 5.
She did practice some deep squat and lunge putts in our practice round, and it paid off.
Looking so comfortable. Yay.
Ella got awkward this looks.
She got the follow flight and the slow mez. And look at that beautiful tree, too. Ella says that's her favorite part about this course are these beautiful box elder trees.
That she just likes to squat next to.
I can't wait for her to see this slow mez. She's going to be amped.
Own coming back for her bogey. There we go.
46% of the field taking a bogey or worse, with only 8% birdies. 4 people. Paige, one of them.
Nice.
Maria Oliva, Natalie Ryan, and Emily Beach also getting the 4.
Maria got it with a sweet circle 2 putt. It was awesome.
And you really have to dissect that hole to get the birdie. It's 3 perfect shots. Not necessarily huge ones either, just perfect. Paige jumping into the lead on the feature card. Emily Beach 6 down through 13. Natalie Ryan 6 through 14. Sai Ananda 4 down through 5. Holy moly, starting out hot.
Hot start for sure. Hole 5 is a par 4. It's 589 feet. You need to pick a gap off the tee. There's a couple of different options. You want to get as far as possible, obviously. And then the second shot's definitely doable, but if you hit early, there's no way you're going to birdie this. There is OB way on the right and left, but it's super hard to find. And then there's this is this a triple mandatory technically?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
just kind of limits your lines. Paige is laying down the roller. It looked like a good angle, but catches one of the guardian trees.
Oh no, the truss does not play as a triple mando.
Yeah, it just kind of limits your shot.
It's just some decor. It's funny to see Paige go for the roller and Ella go for the air shot.
Yeah.
But Ella was saying she didn't feel like she had enough room with that truss to get the roller angle down. We know she loves the sky rollers. Paige's roller was a great angle. It just caught that middle tree.
Yeah. So Ella chose left gap. Which gap did Hans go through? Kind of lost it. I like the right gap.
It snuck through.
Madison thinking left gap turnover.
Yep.
Nice.
Hyzer flip turnover. Naturally, she goes
right gap.
Right cap gets
turnover.
Lucky.
It's actually a good spot. I accidentally turned mine over. There's a gap even farther right than that. But I got way down there.
This second shot is huge if you don't get down there. Paige is one of the few people that could potentially reach the green. She goes past the basket.
How far do you think that was? I mean, she got maybe 200 feet off the tee?
Yeah,
maybe.
I would guess every bit of 360.
Easy.
But just, it's a funky angle more than anything. You can't just, you have to like kind of throw it on a pure hyzer.
Owen is just the queen of flex line angles.
I have a really low ceiling shot to look at straight here, so I opt for a hyzer to try to maybe get a skip in. It adds a lot of distance onto the hole. I don't get as much skip as I want, and unfortunately land behind one of those guardian trees.
Yeah, there's a tiny gap you can like shoot a basketball putt through, but that's about it.
Ella with so much spin on her forehand gets a huge flare skip, checks up though inside circle one. She's also behind one of the guardian trees.
Oh, you gotta look. Kinda.
It was a turnover, big time. Almost doesn't look like it was that blind, but that low branch made it really tough to have any sort of straight putt. Paige coming back a little low for her birdie save.
Oh, man.
She's warmed up, folks.
That is almost a split. Wow.
I know.
Oh my gosh. I want people to go watch the practice rounds and see what she was doing. And
a joke.
Now compare it to this. Yeah.
It's even deeper.
It's deeper.
It's definitely deeper.
What? That's 2 unbelievably sick putts back to back.
29% of the field getting a birdie on this one.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And twice that getting to circle 2 in regulation. So a lot of people finding their way to the putting green, just not quite converting from circle 2. I think we're going to see a lot more birdies in the days to come. It's just getting that tee shot dialed.
Man, Emily Beach now 7 down. Natalie 6, Sai 3, Jessica Weiss and Deanne Carey also 3.
Yeah, the
solid scores.
Feature card having a little bit of a slow start. Everyone kind of struggling a little bit. Hole 6, 820 feet, another par 5. You want to throw something, there's a million options. You can throw basically a lot of different things off the tee shot. A turnover works, a big hyzer works. You could even go left side. We see Owen go left side. Your second shot, you're going to get through that line of trees and somewhere out into the open. Your third shot, you're pitching up to the green. It's on a little hill, but not a lot of worry about rollaways. It's pretty flat. Thankfully, like where the basket is. Let's watch Ella take the gap that no one would ever see. Super left.
Yeah, she did this in the practice round too, and I couldn't believe it. It's so cool. There is OB.
I know.
Dang.
I know. Just her roller kept just catching one tree.
There's OB that wraps behind the basket that can come into play.
Oh,
Did you mention that? Yeah,
no.
if you like super hard run your putt, you can find it. But other than that,
Owen not quite turning this as much as she wanted. She landed right behind the big trees, but got a good skip, and she's out in the open. Landing where her disc initially started the skip is brutal. There's just not a lot to work with. Paige going huge right side hyzer line. She unfortunately catches the one tree on the corner of her shot.
takes a branch with her.
I'm going up the middle, turnover. Let the disc do the work.
She tried. You look a little pin though.
Yeah, just a little bit. This is the second shot's crazy here too. There's just so many different angles. Since there's no out of bounds, you can go take any number of ways to the basket. Paige opts for the straight shot, even though it's a little bit of a narrower gap. Gets a lot of action and checks up in the shade. She'll be about 200 feet or less from the basket.
Yeah, as long as you get about 3/4 through that tree line on the right, it's a very doable approach. And whereas if you take this gap that Owen is taking, it can add distance. There's just, yeah, you're right. There's too many options to talk about effectively.
Since I was pinched, I have to go out wide and kind of throw way left and let it come back to the fairway.
Cool shot.
It worked.
Are you using a cough drop today for your grip?
I went and got some tacky towels. I also have had multiple people come up to me today and tell me different ways they help their grip during the round. And man, I got some good stuff. I'll drop some knowledge on my Instagram later. Thanks to everyone that shared their tips and tricks. For
Ella,
all of the dry-handed folks.
The lizard people.
Yeah.
Ella made some forward progress, but did catch another tree. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Got the sidearm going.
Yep. It's feeling very powerful today.
Power claw. Madison used to use red tape on her hands. It was much more fun.
Yep.
Much more lobstery.
We called it the claw.
Yep.
I got the variety pack of colors now. You never know what you're going to get.
Owen's third shot. Looks like it might even be a bullseye hit. Really well done. Ella probably 200 feet away. Maybe 180.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bullseye.
Paige's third from the shade with the fierce through the branch.
Perfect.
Yep. Another bullseye shot. Ella uphill towards the out of bounds.
There's a bit of a headwind on this putt. No problem.
And
though.
Ella's putter is absolutely on fire today.
Yeah, even without the really deep squatting, she's still making them look easy.
Yeah, she's hitting so many testers. Speaking of. Whoopsie.
I'll admit you got me. I thought you had that.
And a little comeback putt for par. The breeze got to my smooth brain.
You did really start to feel it here. You can see the flags
Mm-hmm.
whipping. It was coming off the water on the screen.
25% of the field got birdies. 3 out of 4 of our feature card did as well.
Whoopsies.
Owen doing what Owen does.
Just a crowd pleaser all around.
Mhm.
Hole 7 is a shorter tee pad than last year. You're going to see a lot of ladies go over the water on the right. You can see the out of bounds line is off the water, and then around that sawgrass on the right, it kind of does bubble out a little bit. You're going to see some fairway drivers, or maybe even distance drivers, maybe even mid-ranges, and a lot of sidearms as well out to the left. It's definitely the safer play.
This hole is still just so hard to me. I can't figure out what I want. If you don't have a distance sidearm, the turnover can be really scary, especially today. It was a little bit of a headwind, so you just don't have as much control on those backhand turnover shots.
It feels scary, but I think the backhand play is to throw right over the sawgrass, but under the branches.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Yeah, because those branches will trampoline you backwards into the water. But look at Owen with this sidearm.
Absolute park job.
Paige going for the backhand, but she is going to take a much straighter, more linear approach, just barely going over the sawgrass.
Beautiful. That was her Crystal Buzz OS.
So straight, so good. I'm pulling out a distance driver because why not?
I do too.
She's crazy.
We are who we are.
Went way higher than I wanted.
I mean, you hucked it.
I hucked it. And I was trying to spike it in a little bit, but I caught one of the branches. Thankfully, my friends swimming in the pond back there pulled it out. Love those guys. Mad props to them for coming out here volunteering and diving.
I feel like they live in there. They're always in there.
They love it in there.
Uh-huh.
One of them caught a fish with his bare hands.
Awesome.
No lie. A carp. It was like 14 inches.
It's amazing. Paige for birdie. Band.
Just a little high. No drop zone here. You just take it from where it went out. I pitched mine up to the bullseye for a easy bogey. Ella will be taking a par. Owen with the tap in birdie.
Let's go.
30% of the field taking a birdie on this one. That's so many. That's great.
This was a really good change. It was much more difficult last year. I think we had almost no birdies.
Owen taking the lead on the feature card, but Emily Beach and Natalie Ryan with 7 downs through 15 and 16. Shredding this course, Jessica Weiss with a 4 down in third. 591 foot par 4, another par 4, hole 8. You want to throw, the drone wants you to go through the tree line, but that's the worst way to go because it brings in this very low ceiling second shot if you don't get through the trees. A lot of people are going to pitch something out to the left side, just a nice hyzer out to the open, makes your second shot a lot more wide open. Own's trying to go that way, but unfortunately turns and burns very early. This hole just got a little bit more difficult.
I mean, she can definitely still par fairly easily. It's not a bad play from that side to go up the right and around the trees and then just pitch up. Ella going roller again.
Love this.
Active, premium, genius.
Yes. Got a little... Erika feeling religious today.
Yeah.
It got a little weird ground bounce and checked up more quickly than you want. Paige taking that left side route that I talked about, going huge, maybe almost even a little bit too far. We'll see what she's working with that tree line deep. I'm following suit.
Going huge.
Going huge.
Shot for shot with Paige. Actually, that is pretty big. That's a great shot.
I crushed it.
Yeah.
I was stoked. See the wind just a little bit. We had a little bit of a tailwind there, almost right to left. Own having to go through that tree line. She doesn't go at the basket. She goes out and around to where we were throwing our drives, and it works great.
Yeah, she's, what, 150 or so, maybe?
Forgot to mention that there is out of bounds right behind the basket, a green. It comes into play so fast, so throwing something fast at this basket feels crazy.
It's, what, within 15, maybe 10 feet even?
Yep.
Behind it?
I did it anyways, because I'm crazy.
Wow.
And it worked.
Yeah, sick shot.
Ella's second after the roller. Keeping it low, hoping for some skip up the hill, and it works great.
Oh, lucky, man. Literally every time I play this, I land right where she lands and then hit the curb. Every time.
Lucky.
I feel like I can say that.
It did skip over in a very, very fortunate way. Paige opting for the sidearm, catches a little branch and kicks down a little early. She'll have a kind of a death putt.
One looks a little bit pinned here. Standstill backhand looks great though.
Just outside the bullseye.
Good recovery. Paige from just inside circle 2. Definitely a risky putt. A safe bid.
Ella's birdie look. Also thinking about the OB a little bit.
Oh man, Ella's putter is on fire.
Yes, she just was hitting everything.
Love to see it.
Whoops.
Madison's putter, maybe with a few little icicles coming off the rim.
Feeling a little yippy.
Hey, par's great.
Yep.
Stress-free par.
I did not walk away fuming mad. I was fine, actually.
Of course not.
Only 17% of the field getting birdies on that one. 23% getting to circle 1 in regulation. 50 to circle 2. These holes are playing so well as all being score separators.
Yeah, I think Leonard Muse did a great job adjusting from last year where it played just a little too hard, I think.
Anyone that's looking to design an FPO layout and you need some input, call Leonard Muse. He knows what he's doing. He's awesome.
Hole 9 is a par 4, 609 feet. The drone took the left side turnover. You can also throw hyzer off the tee around that bush. You're trying to land as far as you can and as close to the water as you can to then carry the water on your second shot to look for a birdie. If you do not absolutely nail this tee shot, it's really risky to go across on the second and you end up pitching up, and then it's not the easiest third shot to get your par. So you really want to just pipe this tee shot like that.
Yep, the hyzer line is the longest line to cross over the out of bounds.
They really cleared out the right side, though. Last year, the hyzer was really risky, and now it's wide open.
This is what a lot of players do, just simply try to get across the out of bounds, not try to go too far right and get the second shot over the water. This played as the most difficult hole of the day.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people probably feeling aggressive went for the second shot and maybe didn't make it.
It's just that perfect distance where you're like, I can do this.
I can do this.
But there's also a lot of variables, and it is right at that distance.
Paige goes huge. Oh, mad.
Yankee.
Yeah. I mean,
just turned
like,
it too much.
Good distance, but just kind of late release, maybe?
Just turned it too much.
Okay.
I was trying to throw a little bit more of a hyzer angle, and I never crossed, so I'm going to have to take it from the short side.
Oof.
Yep, still throwing over out of bounds, but a lot more of an open shot. Got really aggressive here.
Yeah. I'm
just trying to have fun.
Kind of annihilated that one.
Yep.
I like to call those angry shots. Just like
I actually wasn't angry. I was just.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like kind of like fun, crazy eyes.
Okay, when you have an angry shot, let me know and I'll tell you what I call that.
Surprisingly, no anger today. Just feeling the love.
Ella with a great look at it with her second shot, hangs it out over the right.
Nice.
Really, really good shot. It's easy to go right at the basket and then fade too far left into that tree line and leave yourself a long putt. This is also really just perfect from Paige.
Paige and Ella making this hole look so easy. I mean, this is the most difficult hole of the day.
But is it though?
And they're just on the green.
Uh-huh.
Look, the stats don't lie.
How far do you think this shot is?
From where Owen just threw? I would say 250, maybe a little less.
Yeah, I think a little bit less. But definitely more than you would like for your like par or bogey approach shot. Owen doing a really good job.
This is the second time that forehand, it's a Tesla. It's the second time my overstable forehand disc has looked like the straightest arrow in the world.
You're just a strong guy?
I'm just so strong all of a sudden. I've got the feature card muscles.
Long look for bogey just outside the circle.
Does not send it. Oops.
Whoops.
Ella for birdie.
Oh, man.
I know.
I hate when you hit all your circle's edge and then you just doink like a, 16-footer, 20-footer maybe?
The elevated basket, it just always kind of gets in your head, unless you're Owen.
Yeah.
Nothing ever gets in your head.
Owen with a really great par. A par feels so good when you lay up the second shot. Mad coming back for a double.
Oops.
Come on.
I was a large contributor.
Oh, no. This one's long, too.
Yeah. Large contributor as to why this hole played so difficult for the FPO field.
No.
Oh, my
God.
You got to save. I wasn't feeling warmed up putting.
After 9 holes?
Yeah, so I felt like I needed to get some in.
Okay. So,
I wasn't
the snowman.
Still not warm.
Madison.
Still not warmed up yet. So, this is embarrassing.
Ugh. Nice birdie from Paige. And,
yeah, she just sneaks that in.
Please,
I'm like,
please make this.
I'm like, excuse me, I have more putting to do, ma'am.
Ooh, okay, let's move on.
So that's my first 5 putt of my career, everybody. I'm glad that we all get to watch it together.
Oh, I'm glad.
This is a learning experience. We're all growing.
Oh.
I'm crying. No, I'm just kidding. There's only 5 birdies on the day, as many putts as I did.
Okay, just feeling real awkward over here.
What a way to close out the back. I did not realize our faces were going to be up right after that.
We're here. Listen, there's more golf to come. Probably better golf.
Much better golf.
Yeah.
Everything is uphill from here, folks. Downhill from here, folks. I'm not sure.
Wait, which way? Maybe it's just level.
Yep. It gets better. That's what we'll say. Right now, to be in the top 20, you have to be under par.
Impressive.
I don't know. I think we're going to even see more birdies tomorrow. We did have calm conditions. It did get a little bit warm, but we're going to have calm conditions all weekend, and I think people are going to shred more than they already have in the first 9 holes. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching me putt a lot.
Yeah, join us on the back 9. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your 2 hot geese.
Honk.
Honk.